Welcome back from Florida. Got back yesterday, and actually I have a bunch of video I still need to edit and put together that I took while in Florida, of the different events I went to and just some of the different things I did. So that'll be coming. So this is probably going to come out before I get that done. I don't know. We'll see. If not, I hope you enjoyed the Florida video. If not, look forward to the Florida video. So what I wanted to talk about today, while I was in Florida, my friends Peggy and Ashley that have an embassy RV, they've had it about 4 years, and they of course they came with Lavios. I think now they're using Separate, but at the time they were using Lavio, and so they have a Lavio. And the motor went out on their Lavio, like I said, after about 4 years, and they were about to get another one when they discovered this other toilet called MotoWell, Modiwell. That's also dry flush, but works a little bit differently. And it looked really intriguing to me. I hadn't gotten their feedback yet on what they think of it in terms of usage, but I actually reached out to the company and they gave me a discount code, so I ordered one because I want to try it out. So this video is going to be comparing that with the Lavio. The difference is it's much lighter to lift. It's more portable, and instead of like doing the diaper genie thing where you flush it and it like twists up the paper, twists up the bag or whatever, it actually heat seals. So you flush every time, and each flush is actually heat sealing everything. So then you throw that package away. So instead of like waiting for this big package and then you throw the whole thing away, you throw the individual packages away. So I'm going to show you how the Lavio looks in here, measure it, see how much room it takes up. And then I'm going to put the MotoWell in here. I've got it in the house charging right now. And so we'll set that up. And then I'm going to take the Lavio out and put the MotoWell in here. And we're going to compare the space, and we're going to compare the differences on how they work. I have not used it yet. I just, like I said, it's in the house charging. I plugged it in last night, so it's been charging overnight, so it's probably all charged up by now. I will say the Lavio, I got a really good sense for how long each cartridge would last. And I actually would put in my calendar when I would change it so I could kind of really track it. And I would say on average it's about five days. And I was using it almost exclusively because I went to different van events. I went to Van Fest. I went to the Southwest Adventure Vehicle Expo. And then, of course, Peace, Love, and Vans. And then, in between was harvest hosting or, hanging out with friends, things like that. So I didn't use other facilities very often. In fact, I could probably count on one hand how many times I use something that, someplace else other than my van. So the Lavio, I don't know, I think for one person using it almost exclusively, getting 5 days out of it's probably pretty good. Of course, like I said, I did a few things to kind of extend the usage. One thing that happened to me is like sometimes when I'm lifting it, it's really easy to hit the flush button. And so there was a couple times where I lost a flush because it was ready to go, hadn't been used. And then I, move it and hit the button and wasted a flush. And every time I'm like, I wonder how much that cost me. But so anyway, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to compare these two toilets. So this is what the Lavio looks like in here. And you can see it's, it resembles, kind of a home toilet, other than obviously not a water-filled bowl. But you can see the style of it is I guess a familiar style is the best way to put it. So let's see how much room this takes up. It's all the way back. So Now, there's actually like a little lip back here. So it's 20, about 19.5 to 20 inches in depth. Is that right? Depth is that way? I'm not sure. If we go from the wall, or actually just start from here. So it's about 15.5 inches wide. So your front, you know, for when you're on here, you've got about 11 inches of leg room right here. And then let's see, how tall is it? It is probably about 17.5 inches tall. I think that's pretty, if you look at the top lid. Now lifting it out of here is a little awkward, so I'll just show you. This is not very graceful here, so as you can see, it is heavy. So lifting it out, and the more that's in the bag, obviously the heavier it gets. But so you can see moving it around it's not it definitely doable, a little cumbersome. So usually when I shower, I'll put it right about here. And then of course, I have the full space of the shower. So the reason I'm interested in the MotoWell, which I just brought it in here, is, well, there's a few. One, as you could see, lifting it in and out of the shower. The MotoWell is much lighter. It's about 17 pounds. That's one reason. Two, main reason is the refills. So this is the refill for the Lavio. You can see it's pretty big. So finding a place to store these in a van is a bit of a challenge. And, this is 15 flushes. Like I've said, you can extend that a little bit. But when you figure average of 5 days, and depending on how long you're going to be out, you need to carry a few of these. And they're not easy to get. They're easy to get when you're at home and you're going to have something shipped and it's going to be between this day and you're home, right? When you're on the road and you don't know where you're going to be, you can't have it delivered like an Amazon Prime to a locker. So you have to know, first of all, you have to have a good address for it to be shipped to, and then you have to know that it, you can give it a 5-day window between dates for these to show up. So that's the frustrating part with this. I got lucky again because Peggy and Ashley, they had a bunch of these, and because they bought the MotoWell, they weren't going to need the cartridges anymore. So I actually bought 6 from them, and that came in handy because I would have run out. So so let's look at the MotoWell. So this is it. I have the legs folded in right now. So that's in its travel mode. So it's very portable, and that's in its portable state, I guess you could say. So we're going to put it in the bathroom and take a look at it. Okay, so the legs come out like this. Let's see if I can do this here. That's one. And then this is 2. And this is, let's see, this is the front. Okay. So that's it with the legs. So now we're going to put it in the bathroom. Show you how easy it is to pick up. See? Can't do that with the Lavio. So there we have it in the bathroom. And I know you're probably looking at that thinking, well, those legs don't look sturdy. I have, when I had it in the house, I sat on it to see how it felt. It actually feels very sturdy, and of course, I'm not the skinniest person, and I didn't feel like anything was going to give, so it felt pretty comfortable to sit on. So let's take a look at how much space it's taking up. So it's all the way back, and that is, if I do from the back of it, it's about 16.5 inches. Knee space, you've got almost You've got about 13.5 inches for leg space there. And width, it is, what is that, about 14 inches. So lift it up. And these are actually, this is what I was talking about, the refills. So, show you here. Comes with two packs. That's the refill. And that's 30 flushes. To give you a point of reference, that versus that. This is definitely going to be a lot easier to store. So I could actually get and before I forget to add this, you can Amazon Prime these. So it will tell you 2-day delivery, send it to a locker. Clearly that's going to fit in a locker. So that's definitely a much better option there. As you can see, storing these is going to be a piece of cake. Now, I got to figure out, I have not done this yet, so I need to figure out how to fill this in here. But you can see that's, you know, you take this off, and we'll work through that here in a second. But I just wanted to show you what that looks like. So these bags will be in there. So to give you an idea of sitting on it, so it's definitely, I have much more room here. It doesn't feel awkward. Like I said, this actually feels very sturdy. You know, I'm not a skinny fashion model. So, but this actually, it feels sturdy. If I wanted privacy, I actually feel like this is more comfortable in here. Because definitely much more room here. So now I'm going to attempt to put the refill cartridge in there. I've watched videos on it. It's not complicated. There's just a few steps. I think my biggest concern, and we're going to see how this really works, is that there's more moving parts to it than there is with the Lavio. And the Lavio is a pretty simple, straightforward, you know, diaper genie kind of thing. It blows air, so that, which I'll actually do a flush and show you how it works. So this is going to be a little bit different. What is nice also is the bags are biodegradable. I don't know about the Lavio. It's made with, what is that? What are those? What's that? So when you saw it, it's that silver stuff, but you know, Mylar. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's made with Mylar, where the refills on the MotoWell are supposed to be biodegradable. So we'll see how this goes here. And it does come with, obviously, with a manual. 2 packages of these refills, and again, you see the size of this. This is going to be awesome to carry a lot of these into store. And the other thing it comes with, and I use, actually I'll show you here. This is one of the ones I use different ones, but I use this right now, like pea gel, you know, so when you go number 1, you pour this in there, it solidifies everything. The MotoWell comes with these, and so I think what you do is you're supposed to put this in there before you use it, and that way it's ready to go, and then when you use it, this absorbs the liquids, you flush it, you have a package, you put in the trash. So yeah, we'll go through all of that. But right now, like I said, I'm going to look at this and read the instructions. Yeah, novel idea, right? Read the instructions. Like I said, I've watched videos on people setting it up, and it doesn't look hard. It's just there are steps. Oh, and also charging. This is the charger for charging it. Okay, so I've taken it out of the package. They call it a film roll, and it says to put it around there with the arrows up. So we're going to take this off. Okay, so let's take this. It says take, is it this piece? Yeah. There we go. Okay. So it says place this around the base with the arrows up. See if this goes a certain way. Guess not. Okay, so the arrows are up. Let's take these out. So you can see a little more to the installation than there is on the Lavio. Put this back on. Okay. So now it says, pull this up. Pull this up about 8 inches. Does that look about 8 inches? Just a tad more. Okay, then there's this guide. So we're going to pull this up, bunch it together, and then push it down into this. Let's see, where's the rollers? So there's rollers in here. Okay, there's the rollers. Push it down, and then this thing guides it into the rollers. Oops. Okay. Okay, so it's in the rollers. And then, what do we do? All right. Let's see, do I push that enough? Okay, it is between the rollers, make sure. And then let's take that out, put this back here. Now we're going to put the seat back on. Okay, there is a button in the back, and I did notice it. Let's see, where did it go? Right here. So it's powered on. It's going to do a self-check, it said. Okay, let's try. First thing you have to do is do a flush. So we press the start button, which is this red button. Well, thought I was recording. I pressed the start button and it went through its motions there, and that was to get it started, because you have to do a first seal, otherwise you got a big opening at the bottom. So that's what it's doing right now, and it's doing a countdown. I'm going to turn the camera off, and once that finishes, we'll see what it does next. Okay, so it looks like it's finished its initial seal. Let's see what it does here. Okay. Did it do anything down here? Yeah. Okay. So there we have, again, this was the initial seal, because clearly if we were to have used it, we would have had a problem. So now it is ready to go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go get some colored water, and we're going to compare this to the Lavio right here. Well, I had planned on using blue colored water. Unfortunately, I don't have any food coloring. It's somebody cleaned out my pantry while I was gone, I guess. But anyway, so we're just going to put water in there. Now, it did say, let me see the instructions. Yeah, it says add a bag of coagulant into the toilet before using the toilet. So we're going to try that, because with the Lavio, and you could put it in before you use it. I don't know. I would just sprinkle it after I used it, but probably would be easier. Anyway, so here's the little packet of coagulant. Okay, so we're going to pour this in here. If you hear the background noise, I turned the AC on. It's getting a little warm in here. All right, so let's pour some water in here. And let's see what the coagulant does. Kind of see it solidifying. Okay, so it's solidified. And now we're going to flush. So we're going to press the start button.
and it's at 100. Okay, maybe I have to hit it again. Let's see. I think that maybe that wakes it up. Okay, so it said hold it for 2 seconds. There we go. So you see it's pulling the bags forward. And now you're going to see it's doing a countdown. You can see the number there. So while that one's counting down, let's go ahead and I'll show you the Lavio. Sorry, I've got the camera in my hand and I'm trying to open this jar. So I'll show you, this is how I was using the Lavio. So in other words, you know, water, and then I would put the gel. This one just happens to be a purple. It's a lavender. I think I got all the water. Let that go a little bit. So this one over here, is it 56? You can see it's 55, 4. So it's sealing. Now this one over here, normally I would use this a couple more times before I'd flush it, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a flush. Oh, I see some water in there. Oh well. Now it's going to blow air. And there's your bag, or your bowl for your next usage. So the Lavio is quicker, obviously, than sealing. But let's go ahead and close that. But the difference is there's a big bag underneath there that's going to have to go in the trash when it's full, you know, once it's done. Where this one, okay, now it's just finished. And it's going to drop down here. You see it? So we're going to grab this. And that goes in the trash. So definitely, even though that one takes a little bit longer and a little more to load, which maybe eventually I'll show you how to load the Lavio. I should have probably filmed that before because I just recently changed it. But this bag just goes right in the trash. So instead of having a big 40-pound bag, because that's the thing, when the Lavio is done and I pull it out, it's close to 40 pounds. It's a pretty heavy trash bag that I have to go dump out as opposed to these individual bags. So it's kind of nice to be able to flush and always have a fresh bowl. And like I said, that's actually pretty comfortable to sit on. I had more leg room with that one, and definitely really easy to pull in and out from the shower when I want to use the shower. So there you go. All I have to do is just throw a simple bag into the trash, and that's definitely gelled up in there. I do wish the bags were maybe a little more opaque. But yeah, you just throw this in another, just put it in the trash and throw it away. So that was the whole setup for the MotoWell toilet. We'll see how it works. I might try to go up to Oklahoma for a few days, because I also have another item I want to test out. And by the way, this isn't sponsored or anything. Like I said, Peggy and Ashley brought it out when we were at Van Fest, and I thought, man, that was so cool. But what got me was, like I said, the size of the refills, the ease of getting the refills, and the ability to move that toilet around a lot easier. And I thought this was a good comparison, particularly if you are thinking about, you don't want a black tank, you don't want a cassette, and you're kind of thinking about the Lavio, but maybe looking at some other options like, what is it, Separate is one, Ogo composting toilet is another. So those are all different options, and I thought, well, this is a good chance to talk about another option if you're interested in a dry flush, but maybe have some of the same concerns I have. One mainly being getting the refills. This wasn't sponsored, and they didn't pay me to do this review or send me the toilet for free or anything like that. I mean, I ordered it. I did get a discount code from them, but I really wanted to compare it because it's a good comparison to the Lavio, since it's a similar concept as being dry flush. But I really want to give it a chance, over a period of months to see, like, okay, after refilling it a few times, how easy is it to refill? Does it get, do things get caught up, or do the rollers get caught up, or do any issues with the mechanism, basically? And how long does the charge last? Like I said, I've only charged the Lavio once, and it's been 2.5 months, and I charged it the day I got the van, so that was December 30th, and today is actually St. Patty's Day, so just to give you an idea of how long the charge is held. So like all those things I kind of want to see before I do like my final recommendation, but I thought this is a good opportunity to kind of share it, to kind of give you some ideas of what options are available to you if you're not interested in a cassette toilet and you don't want a black tank, and you're not sure about composting and all those other different options. This is kind of another good option, and cost wise, now I have seen the price kind of fluctuate a little bit on Amazon, but it is much cheaper than the Lavio. So anyway, I will continue to give you updates on what I think of it. Like I said, I'll be leaving for Vegas in a couple of weeks. So that trip, I'm not sure yet how long that trip's going to be, because I do kind of want to roam around Utah and a little bit of Nevada, before the heat sets in. And I really want to go back to Monument Valley. Oh, I loved it there. So that might be at least a few weeks on the road there, maybe longer. We'll see. I haven't planned it yet. But anyway, so I will, like I said, continue to do updates on what I think about it, because van life, what do? We talk about toilets. Travel and toilets. But anyway, I will keep you updated on that one.